Hey, this is Jake from Jake's Board Reviews, and today we're checking out and reviewing the Pocket Rocket by May and Matt Biolas from Lost Surfboards. I'm joined by Dylan Baker, a good mate of mine and Ripper the surfer. And yeah, we're going to be talking about this board a little bit and discuss why we've both been loving it so much. So yeah, Dylan, what's the dims on this board?
The dims on this board is 5'10", 19, 2 and 4'4", and 29 litres.
Beautiful. So just to add, the 29 litres did not feel overly boxy in this board, even though this one was a custom Haydill, or was
No,
this a stock
I
off the
actually
rack?
think there's two different stock options you
Yeah.
can get. And this is one of the, there was an easy rider
Yeah.
and a more performance based.
Right.
I think this might be the easier rider version, but I'm not sure. But great board. Yeah, it doesn't feel like 20 litres, 29 litres as Jake said. It feels like 28, but it's beautiful.
Beautiful. And as we can see, tail-wise, we got kind of a more pulled in kind of squash tail, so it's a bit thinner around here, which helps it have a bit more pivot off the back foot. Yeah, breakdown kind of, I guess, the overall rocker of the board.
Yeah, beautiful. It's got like a medium rocker. It's got a lot of nose lift so you don't nose dive, a bit of tail lift. It's a single into a double to a V out the tail, out behind the fins. Now this board can ride, I've ridden it through any surf, big, small, it handles it. It loves just any sort of surf you put in, it'll go. It's the one thing I really like about this board is surfing on it, I can push it as hard as I like off the bottom. If bottom turns and turns, and I found I can't really get that with many other boards, but this board I seem to be able to do that in no matter what conditions, big or small. It just seems to get so much speed out of nowhere.
Yeah, I think giving it 2 goes before we reviewed it, I just had 2 surfs on it, and both times I thought I'd block out the swearing for that one. I bloody love the thing. So keep YouTube in its correct place. Tail-wise, we got the squash, and then entry, we got kind of like a medium exit, and medium entry.
The board is quite skinny, which makes it quite performancey. You can whip it real hard, it won't catch rail, but you think it's too thin, but it's got this thickness to it, which is just so hidden. It's really impressive how Matt did this board. I'm actually quite happy with it.
Straight away when I hopped on it, I was like to Dylan, I just looked at Dylan and I was like, what the hell is this thing? This is insane how good this board feels. I'd say I'm a bit surprised that at surf shops, surf shops that distribute Lost surfboards more, that they're not pushing these boards a bit more. The Pocket Rocket was designed for a lot of the QS type competitors, so
more on the fun days, on their little lay days, they'd always have this. This is honestly, if you're a surfer trying to progress, this is a board you want in your quiver. It's just a fun board you can always rely on, easy to go to.
QS guys wanted something that they could ride, that they wouldn't have to stress out too much, because a lot of the QS conditions you're surfing super small waves and kind of just
varies so quickly.
Yeah, there's nothing really going on the banks sometimes. You just got to pump through dead sections, flat spots, and Matt's aim was just to create something that would be versatile in those conditions. We got a little phone call coming. Anyway,
I also want to add, the fins I've been riding in that I find are the best are the accelerators. Now, I love the accelerators. That's the main fins I've been riding for a while, and great board. I really enjoy this board.
Yeah.
How did you find it in your surf?
I found it for a person, I'm not really, as a lot of you guys know on the channel, I'm half in with performance boards, half out. Sometimes I go through phases, but most of the time I'd much rather be riding quads and twins and kind of just more fun boards. I love the get up and go speed. It felt like it had hold, but it was still loose.
Oh, it's amazing.
Yeah, I think the PC Core accelerators coupled really well, especially in a medium template with the board. Just made the board, kind of gave it that bit of skatey little flick you can get in the back. So yeah, that felt really good.
We actually just had a surf.
Yep.
And we were just getting tubes, and this thing was going amazing.
Yeah.
So was Jake's board.
So I'd say the wave range for this board, probably 1 to 6 foot.
Yeah, honestly,
It's
it does anything. any wave.
No,
And this
that
is
can fold.
5'10", and it can still go on big surf.
Yeah.
And that small grovelly stuff. It's amazing.
The first wave I had on it was 1.5 foot, and it popped a couple turns, got to the end section, and just kind of released the fins a little bit. And I was just like, you got to be kidding! What's going on in this
I
board?
know.
I would actually like to own one because I think Lost are pushing the Driver 2.0 as the board that you want to ride every day. But
yeah, but I had the Driver 2.0.
Yeah.
It was a good board, but this thing goes better.
this one's a lot easier to surf.
Yeah.
Much easier for a lot of guys.
More
so-
forgiving.
yeah, what do you reckon the level? Like kind of,
Experience level?
yeah,
I
for
would
this surfer.
I do your average everyday surfer. You can like stern up, do a few turns, progressing
Yeah,
to, honestly up the top levels. If you are learning a bit more, I reckon you want another board that's a bit more easy to ride. But this board, if you're progressing and you want to just get better, this thing it's worth getting.
it's worth getting.
And they actually don't really have it much in the shop, which is annoying. But
Yeah.
I went up to Empire Surfboards and there were heaps of them.
Yeah,
I
that-
actually
Empire Surfboard's just in the Goldie, yeah?
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
talking
right.
to them. They were recommending this board
Yep.
because it's just such a good board.
I think especially some of the point breaks, especially where we live around Byron Bay, the main point break, the pass, is quite a weak wave a lot of the time.
Yeah.
It doesn't have as much push as like the waves around the area. I'm not going to mention names because I'll probably get abused online. It doesn't have as much punch as like, I'll just say some known spots like Snapper and stuff. It doesn't have that same curve and punch like that break offers. So you can really test the board how it would go in like kind of grovelly scenarios. We're not surfing perfect point breaks all the time, you know.
Yeah.
Most of the guys who watch, for example, either they might be lucky enough to be on a point break or reef break, but most of us are actually
Still
just surfing
Shitty beach breaks.
crappy
and
beach breaks.
whatever,
Like yeah, just like I grew up around Bondi, so I learned to surf like really kind of crappy average beach breaks. Don't get pissed off with me if you're from Bondi, but yeah, the waves aren't that good there. So honestly, good all round shortboard. I think
Yeah, and I ride a lot of boards, and this
Yeah.
board is a good short board to go to.
yeah, I think another fin set that could work is like anything in the accelerated series, so like the
Yeah,
Koloes
yeah.
or the Felipes or
Even
Performers.
Yeah.
Yep. Performers.
Actually, I tried the reactors. They were
Yeah.
super fun. In
Yeah.
this, which was surprising.
What about for futures? I think probably the neutral.
Same sort of range.
Yeah.
Neutral, sort of like.
John.
Honestly, this ball can
Yeah.
handle anything. If you put in a rake set, like the AM2,
Yeah.
for example,
Yeah.
I feel like it just ruins this board's potential. This board's got so much speed, you want to keep it. You
Yeah.
don't want to bag
Yeah.
it down.
You still want to harness that speed, but the problem with the
Yeah.
rake fins is that, for example, they can also slow you down if the surf. Most of the time, the surf's not big enough for rake fins
Yeah.
anyway. Accelerator's perfect. It's between like a Performer and a Carver kind of fin in the FCS, and I think it offers like the best of both worlds. Just not as good if you're like, obviously you're not going to ride this board when it's. You can ride it when it's 1 foot, but you'd want to switch to like a reactor when it's like 1 foot.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a May and Matt Biolis, he actually has a fin in FCS2 and in futures that are really good on most of the beach break conditions. It's like a reactor kind of fin,
Yeah.
and it just offers great hold. I've used it, I love it. So yeah, whatever floats your boat, hey.
All in all, this board, I definitely recommend it if you're looking for a good all-round short board just to spruce up your surfing.
Yeah. What haven't we talked about, Deal? Did we forget anything else?
No, but great board, and I'm definitely going to keep this in my quiver.
Yeah. Or I'll snatch it off him. So.
Dream.
Yeah, and that's coming from a guy who doesn't really like thrusters. So yeah, subscribe down below if you haven't already. I sound like Jamie O'Brien or something. Subscribe down below if you haven't already, and yeah, that's for latest videos and all latest content. Dylan will be on the show a fair bit more. I kind of want to do a bit of a team of reviewers, so you guys can get a different perspective, not just from a guy who's like likes one thing. So yeah, gives you kind of like an all-round perspective. And yeah, thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next video. Cheers.
Skateboard reviews.